Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football. We're calling it an update show. The Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions are battling it out right now at Ford Field in Detroit. It's 10-0 Lions. Second quarter, 10:14 to go. First and 10 at the Detroit 37. The Packers have the ball. Uh, we'll talk about tonight's game, what I feel is going to happen, and what's gone on so far in it. And we'll get to all of that. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 14 trivia question. In 2011, Aaron Rodgers broke the record for the highest single season passer rating. What rating did he finish with that year? And it's a Packers trivia question. And I'll have the answer later on the podcast. Well, it's Thursday Night Football Week 14, and the Detroit Lions are by far the best team in the NFL right now, and they are taking on the Green Bay Packers at Ford Field in Detroit, Michigan. Absolutely the best teams in the league, the best team in the league this year under quarterback Jared Goff, with stars like Amon-Ra St. Brown and a strong backfield, Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Detroit controls this division, but injuries challenge the depth of this very tough offense. On the other end of the spectrum, there's the Packers, who are trying to live without Aaron Rodgers. That mantle falls on Jordan Love. And Love is Jordan Love's shoulders, excuse me. After a couple of weeks of games playing not very well, he's made some great plays for them, with Christian Watson and Aaron Jones joining that party, excuse me. Green Bay goes for the upset versus its division leader. Now, this game has great consequences for both sides. The Detroit Lions are in a fierce battle for the NFC North Trophy, while the Green Bay Packers are fighting just to stay alive in their playoff hopes. It's going to be a tight game with with uh, uh, str- strategic plays between both teams. While Detroit enters the game as the favorite, don't count out the Packers from disrupting plans. Jared Goff and the Lions offense are firing on all cylinders, but the Packers defense, featuring uh, Jerry Alexander and uh, uh, Rashan Gary, excuse me, uh, could be a major factor in slowing them down. The Lions need to work on capitalizing on that home field advantage, mainly from the standpoint of creating enough offense. A win would only mean a guarantee in ensuring the top spot in the NFC North, and take those chances into the postseason with a huge momentum. The Packers will depend on Jordan Love to take advantage of Detroit's defense and establish a balanced uh, attack. If Green Bay can control the tempo and force turnovers, they might just surprise everyone, and that very well could be. And this second quarter, 7:42 to go. Second and 12 at the Detroit. I think it's probably the Detroit 36. I don't know, but the Packers have the ball, and I want to. The Packers have the ball. I want to just read the preview. And Detroit and Green Bay, longtime rivals, as I said, and current contenders will have much at stake when they meet tonight, Thursday night. That's tonight in the Motor City. The NFC leading Lions, who are 11-1, are aiming to stay ahead of Philadelphia, who are 10-2 in the race for the conference's best record, and Minnesota, who is also 10-2 in the NFC North, with a win against the Packers. Detroit can also clinch a spot in the playoffs with an 11th straight victory uh, that would set a franchise record. We're in playoff football right now, Lions coach Dan Campbell said. This is the type of stuff that you live for, and it's also the type of stuff that gets you ready for the tournament. Green Bay, who was 9-3, also had a lot to play for because it can pull within a game of the Lions if it can split the season series with a slight upset as a 3.5 point underdogs, according to BetMGM. Uh, this game is going to be important for us moving forward toward the end of this thing, and we're going to treat it as such. Excuse me. Packers safety Xavier McKinney said. Uh, Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery, the first teammates in league history to run for at least 10 touchdowns in consecutive seasons, have combined to average more than 140 yards on the ground per game. The Packers limited San Francisco's Christian McCaffrey to 31 yards on 11 attempts and held Miami to 39 yards rushing in their past two games. And it wasn't the first time since 1990, and it was the first time since 1995, excuse me, and just the second time since 1950 that they gave up fewer than 45 yards rushing in two straight games. Montgomery ran 17 times for 73 yards, and Gibbs had 65 yards rushing and a touchdown on 11 carries last month at Green Bay. They played Montgomery the whole first half, and then the second half, they came in with Gibbs, McKinney recalled. They got a good 1-2 punch. Home field has not been an advantage in the series lately. The road team has won 4 straight games going back to Detroit, closing the 2022 regular season and Aaron Rodgers' career with the Packers in a 20-16 win at Lambeau Field. Green Bay has won 5 straight NFC North road games, including last year at Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. McKinney and Lions safety Kirby Joseph each have an NFL high 7 interceptions, leading the rest of the league by at least 2. Joseph had a pick six in the most recent meeting against Green Bay and has picked off 4 passes in 4 games against the Packers. He's a ball hawk, excuse me. Packers quarterback Jordan Love said he is going to make the plays when the ball's in the air. So he's definitely a guy you've got to know where he's at. Lions coach Dan Campbell was taken aback at a news conference recently when a reporter informed him Gibbs had a post on social media showing some of the team's strategy. I'd rather our stuff not be out there, Campbell said. Green Bay coach Matt LaFleur feels the same way, though he said it doesn't provide a competitive edge to see other teams' terminology on a whiteboard. Guys understood that nobody wants their information out there for the whole world to see, so we try to keep everything in-house here, LaFleur said, but I don't think it's like the end of the world. Both teams will play a third game in 12 days. How the whole organization has handled this has been really impressive, Packers defensive lineman Lucas Vanis. Lucas Vanis said, Vanis, who had a sack in each of his past 2 games, excuse me. After the game, each team will get a break. The Lions will host the AFC's champion Buffalo Bills on the 15th, and Green Bay plays at Seattle later that night. So we'll see what happens in this game tonight. And right now, about to join me on the phone here is my buddy Keith Norman. Keith, how you doing, buddy? All right. Oh, yes. All right. And Cool. Cool. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Who was this? That. Oh, Mikel Yochi. Okay. Yeah. Mikel. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. I can imagine that. Oh, wow. That's really good. That is really good. Swan. Yeah. All right. All right. That's great. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you did. Yeah, they are. You're right. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. They are. You just heard it, folks. The Cavs are first team to reach 20 wins, uh, as you heard my buddy Keith mention. And it's been a long time since they've done that in recent years. Yeah, that's tomorrow. The Charlotte Hornets. Let me go in and see. Hold on, I'm trying to look and see. They've got. Let me scroll here. Um, they've got. They've got Charlotte tomorrow. They've got the Heat on Sunday. Next Friday, December 13th. Next Friday, December 13th. Yeah, that is correct. Okay, yeah, that is correct. And you heard that, folks. There has been some changes to the Cavs schedule now that they are out of the NBA Cup. And so they will have the Charlotte Hornets tomorrow night, and then they will have the Heat on Sunday, and then next Friday they will have the Washington Wizards for the upcoming three games. Yeah. Right now, I'm talking about this is my Thursday night football, week 14. Uh, it is 10-7 Green Bay with 3:48 left to go until halftime. It's a 3rd and 5 with the Green Bay 37, and the Lions have the ball. So this is going to be a pretty intense game. One is battling fierce for the NFC North Trophy and to secure a playoff spot. But the Packers, they're still trying to keep their playoff hopes alive. Yes. Two losses. Yeah. Yeah. And Philadelphia is also 10-2. Yeah. And as you know, Detroit is favored to win the Super Bowl this year, as you know. And we shall see on that. Yeah, they sure have. Right, you're absolutely right. Hardly, I would not be too sure about it either. I would not, Keith. But right now, it's pretty much low scoring in the second quarter with a minute 53 to go till halftime. And it's 10-7 Detroit, and 2nd and 7 at the Green Bay 15. And the Lions now have the ball. So, so right now, it's been a pretty interesting first half so far. All right, kid. Thank you for joining me, buddy. We'll talk later. And that was my buddy Keith Norman, who you can hear as a regular calling guest on the Big Show with Tony Rizzo on Wednesdays on Sports Radio AM 850 WKNR. And right now, it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 14 trivia question. In 2011, Aaron Rodgers broke the record for the highest single season passer rating. What rating did he finish with that year? And if you said 122.5, you are correct. He edged out the previous mark Up 121.1, set by Peyton Manning in 2004 by throwing 45 touchdowns and only 6 interceptions. The Packers went 15-1 that year, losing to the divisional round of the playoffs to the eventual Super Bowl champion that year, the New York Giants. And I will have another trivia question on my next podcast, so stay tuned for that. And I'm going to give you my Thursday night pick right now. I am going with the Lions, and my brother-in-law Eric will probably go with that too. I haven't gotten his pick yet, but he most likely will. But don't count the Packers out by any means, as I mentioned, because they might just surprise everybody. But Detroit has had injuries that has challenged the offense, but they've been playing fairly well as of late. And I do feel that Detroit will get the win in this game tonight. Well, that's just about going to wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 Thursday Night Football Week 14 update show. I'll be back with the Thursday Night Football postgame show once the game between the Packers and Lions has concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day and every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1, I'm done.